Elvis are problems with Ballycairn as they go away from the tape, being followed by Jacenry and Mount Bouvray not far behind. Racing a little wide is Perfect Arch, just in behind Stockdale. Further back behind these to Back in a Bit, and right down the inside is She's Dumb Doll. Red Cap of Golden Nugget just outside this one. Goes Wild as Fire, without exceptions towards the back, with Tankerstown Diva, and Prolonyan is the back marker. Racing now towards the top bend and heading on towards flights 1, 2 and 3 down the hill. Paddy Elvis and JJ Slevin, with on the inside Ballycairn and Richie Deegan. Outside these is Land Jet, Connor Stone Walsh. They're the leading trio, and they're being followed on towards flight number 1 by Jacenry and Ben Harvey. Just outside this one, the red and white stripes of Perfect Arch, and Anna McGuinness is bidding for a double in the sheepskin cheek pieces runners, which was the outside Stockdale and Declan Lavery. So down the hill they come. Ballycairn leads with Paddy Elvis for company. Landjet a little wider out. They're the leading group of 3. Just behind them Jacenry's in company with Mount Bouvray. Stockdale is wide. Just behind them Jacenry, with further back in a bit with Golden Nugget, and then down the inner is She's Some Doll. Perfect Arch is in front of Tankerstown Diva. Wild as Fire, without exception, and Prolonyan as they make their way out over flight number 2 and head towards the one that'll be the 10th and final flight next time. It's flight 3 now, and Ballycairn over on the far side of Paddy Elvis and Landjet the near side. They're spread across the track, as are the 3 behind them. Jacenry, Stockdale, and in the centre Mount Bouvray. Further back on the rail, black and pink jacket of Back in a Bit, with the red cap of Golden Nugget, and then the grey Tankerstown Diva. Cheek-pieced runner Perfect Arch is next, with on the far side She's Some Doll. Wild as Fire is just in front of Without Exception, and last of all, as they turn away from the stands, is Prolonyan. Heading on now to go towards the flight, bringing them away from the stand. Next on the meet is flight number 4, and it's Ballycairn, Paddy Elvis and Landjet, the 1, 2, 3, being followed by Jacenry and then Stockdale, and in between them Mount Bouvray with Golden Nugget, and then She's Some Doll with Tankerstown Diva. Perfect Arch is in front of Wild as Fire as they got over the flight, bringing them away from the stands, Without Exception and Prolonyan the back pair. Racing now towards the bend, that'll swing them right-handed and on towards flights 5, 6 and 7. And it is Ballycairn from Jacenry getting closer on the inside of Paddy Elvis. Landjet remains wide, and then just behind them is Back in a Bit, and they're being chased by Stockdale with Mount Bouvray. Just behind these, She's Some Doll keeps close company with Golden Nugget, and the grey, second of the greys is Tankerstown Diva. This one's chased by Wild as Fire. Prolonyan is on the inside of Without Exception, and Perfect Arch is just shuffled back to the back spot as they go to the flight right over the far side. Ballycairn leads over, and a mistake there at that one by She's Some Doll, who surrendered some ground. Continuing on now to go towards flight number 6. Ballycairn, Jacenry, Paddy Elvis and Landjet, they're the leading 4. Mount Bouvray is 5, just in front of Stockdale, who in turn is just in front of Back in a Bit. Then there's a break of a couple of lengths to Golden Nugget, and then She's Some Doll. Wild as Fire is in front of the sheepskin noseband at the back of the field. Prolonyan, Perfect Arch is the outside, and Without Exception last of all as they rise again. And it's just about Ballycairn who leads them out over that one. Ballycairn from Paddy Elvis racing in second. In third on the outside is Landjet. Jacenry is poised behind them. Then Mount Bouvray, Stockdale and Back in a Bit, and She's Some Doll with Golden Nugget and Tankerstown Diva. Wild as Fire, Prolonyan's on a forward move, leaving Without Exception to be last but 1, and Perfect Arch last of all. Turning now behind the clubhouse, about 7 furlongs ahead of them, and it is still Ballycairn. Landjet wide of Paddy Elvis. There's 3 across the track, and then Jacenry with Stockdale just behind them, the grey. This one's chased by Mount Bouvray. Back in a Bit's on the inside of Tankerstown Diva. Golden Nuggets between them. Landjet got low, mistake Without Exception, as they race now to make their way on the rising ground. That'll bring them on the long run towards the third last, and it's Ballycairn, Paddy Elvis. Jacenry improves between them. Landjet is wide, so too Stockdale. Just behind these, She's Some Doll with Back in a Bit down the rail. Golden Nugget is next, and then Prolonyan is just behind a wall of horses. Tankerstown Diva making her ground on the outside with Without Exception, and trying to follow as well Wild as Fire as they bunch up. Perfect Arch is towards the back of the field, but they are very, very tightly bunched now in the second division of the Powered by Bluegrass handicap hurdle, and it is Ballycairn, Paddy Elvis, Landjet, Stockdale going up to make it almost 4, Jacenry behind them, and this one's followed by She's Some Doll, Back in a Bit, Prolonyan, Golden Nugget, reminder from Mount Bouvray. Tankerstown Diva's on the outside. Perfect Arch is behind them. Down the hill they come, and on towards the third last flight, and it's Ballycairn, Landjet, Stockdale, Paddy Elvis, and just in behind them is She's Some Doll, and they're chased by Golden Nugget getting into it. Tankerstown Divas in the group. Jacenry and Prolognan are going down the inside. So too is Back in a Bit, and it's Ballycairn who's picking up generously in front, but there's plenty trying to get there. Stockdale, She's Some Doll, Jacenry has plenty of light now. Prolognan's behind them with Paddy Elvis without exception. Tankerstown Divas in there too, and it's She's Some Doll now in the centre of the track with Jacenry the far side. Tankerstown Diva and Stockdale, the two greys. Lost one there. Prolognan's the faller as they race now to go towards the next. They've one flight left to jump, and in front it's Tankerstown Diva over on the near side. Jacenry the far. They've opened up a gap. Tankerstown Diva the near side. Jacenry the far, and it's Tankerstown Diva and Keith Henry. Keith Donoghue on the far side is Jacenry there trying to pick up under Ben Harvey. They go right to the judge. Jacenry and Tankerstown Diva go right to the line together and drop their heads too. Jacenry and Tankerstown Diva clear from without exception, and they're followed in by She's Some Doll. Then came Stockdale, Ballycairn Back in a Bit, and then Paddy Elvis in front of Perfect Arch. Then came Wild as Fire in front of Landjet and Golden Nugget. Mount Bouvray is just crossing the line now, just waiting to see Peter John Carberry, who's being attended to at the back of the second last. But it goes to the judge. Tankerstown Diva, Keith Donoghue, dropped his head at the same time as Jacenry and Ben Harvey. Judge will decide.
Extremely close stuff here inside the final couple of strides. Nail-biting stuff. The one that did travel well towards near side was Keith Donoghue on Tankerstown Diva in the orange and black colours. On the inside though, rallying all the time, Jacenry, real head bob. We were getting the feeling maybe Jacenry was the one that was just lunging at the right time, but the exchanges have him marginally favoured at this point in time. That shot, which is by the line, you think the Grey may well have joined him. Commentator Richard Pugh wasn't going to call it all for definite, but he get it by his body. What he was thinking, maybe the inside, maybe just one, but very, very close. Tankerstown Diva